now that we've looked at the property, now we're going to crunch the numbers. The beautiful thing about numbers is numbers don't lie. So I want to back out 3 different scenarios with this property to see which one makes sense or which one will be worth it for me. The number one goal nowadays is wholesaling. Wholesaling is when you're able to buy a house and sell it to an investor without doing anything. The subject property on Invermere, if we can purchase that property for $15,000 cash, I know I have options. When I purchased a house for $15,000 cash, I know that I can turn around and sell that property for $20,000. And what happens there is I will be able to make $5,000. I put the $5,000 in red because it stands out. But the goal here is when you acquire the property right, you can sell it right. So the number one scenario here is buy the house for $15,000, sell it for $20,000, make yourself $5,000, which is profit. Not bad for a day's work, and that's without doing anything. The buyer will assume all renovations, all responsibility. You're the middle person. You make $5,000. You keep going. Now I call it the quick nickel. Now we're gonna go over the slow dime. Okay, now we've talked about the quick nickel. We're gonna talk about this quick dime, a slower dime. The same property that you're gonna acquire for $15,000. What we're going to do to this property is put roughly $5,000 in renovation in it. Not a complete rehab or a make ready, and so we can do work repairs. So now at the end of that, we're going to have about a $20,000 investment total. What we're going to do with this property is we're going to rent this property out. And when we rent this property out, we're going to rent it out for a year. And I'm going to say we're going to probably rent the property out for $800. Rent. 800 times 12 months is going to give you $9,600 a year for roughly a return of about $10,000 a year. So where the first property you took the quick nickel, which is $5,000. This property you're going to take a little slower dime, which is $10,000. You're going to acquire the property for $15,000, put a little work in it, total investment $20,000. You're going to rent it out for about $800 a month times 12 months, make about $9,600 a year, roughly $10,000 a year. So now what we're doing is making $10,000 a year on a $20,000 investment, and that is scenario 2 on a rental. Okay, we go down to scenario 3, the rehab. We've discussed scenario 1, wholesale. We made $5,000, the quick nickel. Scenario 2, the rental. We made $10,000, which is the slow dime. And now we're going to scenario 3, the rehab, where we're going to make $25,000, and we call that the patient quarter. All right, we're going to start off with that same $15,000 in acquisition. But here, we're going to put a little more into this property. We're going to put $30,000, and we're going to call that full repairs. And then when we're done, we're going to have a total investment of about $45,000. Now, through my experience, and I'll teach you at a later course how to determine the resale value. But the resale value for that property is going to be around $80,000. Call that resale. And if you subtract 80 from the 45, we're going to have about a $35,000 profit. But it's not a net profit, because whenever you buy and sell real estate, you got closing costs and commission. So I'm going to allow about $10,000 for cost to sell, which will actually give you about a $25,000 net profit. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your patient quarter.